Hey y'all, welcome to Miss Clark's chemistry class. We're gonna do a lab. This is the final lesson in a series about acids and bases. I am gonna teach you about what a titration is. A titration is a lab process mixed with math. So, the lab setup. Grab your notes, grab your calculator, grab something to write with, and let's get started. Let's say that you have a known concentration of acid and you have an unknown concentration of base. Well, in previous lessons, we've talked about that neutralization reaction. When you add an acid and a base, it neutralizes and makes a salt in water. We're going to use that phenomenon to figure out an unknown concentration of a base. Now, you could do the flip-flop. We could know the concentration of the base, and we need to figure out the concentration of the acid. It can go both ways. But in my lab set up here, I am going to figure out the concentration of an unknown base. So instead of just drawing this all out for you, I wanted to actually go through the lab and show you what a titration looks like. You know, when we're trying to get a precise measurement of volume, we use the graduated cylinder. There's more measure lines on a burette. I'm sure you can't see those to make sure your measurement is very precise. So let's talk about what we need to do. I have my known concentration of acid in this flask. I'm using 0.1 molar hydrochloric acid, and I have 10 milliliters in here. So we're going into this process knowing two things. I know the molarity, the concentration of the acid. I also know the volume of the acid. Now, to my acid, I am going to add a couple of drops of phenolphthalein. If you remember back to that very first lesson in this series, phenolphthalein, it's an indicator that turns pink in the presence of a base. And since my flask only has hydrochloric acid, it should still remain clear. Swirl that around, make sure it's all good and mixed up. I'm going to show you the mathematic formula that we're going to use to figure out that unknown concentration, but you know, it looks exactly like the dilution formula from that unit before in solutions. We're going to have the molarity times the volume of the acid, and that's going to equal the molarity times the volume of the base. I know the molarity and the volume of the acid. When I get finished with this process, I'm going to know the volume of the base. Then I can solve for that unknown, the molarity of the base. Let's go through this titration. In this burette here, I have sodium hydroxide. I don't know the molarity, sodium hydroxide. Here, I've got hydrochloric acid, just in case I need to add a little bit more. Let me show you a titration curve right quick. So let's look at these curves. And again, these curves are true for strong acids, strong bases. This first setup here, the pH is going to be on the y-axis. The volume of the base is going to be on the x-axis. And this base, this is our unknown concentration. Remember, we're doing a titration to figure out an unknown concentration of acid or base. So in this first graph, this is when we have an unknown base concentration. I'm going to say base molarity. Unknown base molarity. That graph, again, since we're starting with acid, that pH is going to be low. As we add more and more base, it's going to slowly increase, and it's going to quickly increase, and then it's going to kind of level out. Now, if we have an unknown acid, molarity, the concentration, molarity, all the same thing. Concentration, molarity. So if we have an unknown acid concentration, then when we start, we're going to have a known concentration of base. Base has a high pH. So it's going to measure up here. And as we add more acid, it's going to slowly decrease, and then it's going to quickly start decreasing, and then it's going to level out. Now these graphs are a little bit sketchy because I'm freehanding them, and you know how my freehand drawing is. But if you were to Google these, they're going to look pretty much just like this. Again, if you're looking at a strong acid, strong base. Okay, now the whole point of looking at this graph is to find the equivalent point. The equivalence point is going to be where it starts to very quickly incline. That should line up when the pH is 7. Let's write that down. Where, you might ask? I don't know. The equivalence point is when your solution reaches a pH of 7. While we're doing this titration, we're going to continue to go until we get that slight pink color, because we're over here using a known concentration of acid with an unknown concentration of base. So we use phenolphthalein as our indicator. Phenolphthalein turns magenta, fuchsia, pink in the presence of a base. While it's an acid, it's clear, but we're looking for it to be as close to the pH of 7 as possible. So we're only looking for a faint pink color change. When we have that faint color change, we call this the end point. Now the end point and the equivalence point We want them to be as close together as possible, but they're never truly going to be the exact same because the equivalence point is a pH of 7. The end point is where we see that slight tinge of pink, and if it's a slight tinge of pink, it's slightly basic. Okay, let's get back to our lab and let's find that slight color of pink. Now I put this phenolphthalein in here because it's going to tell us the moment that the hydroxide ions overtake the hydrogen ions when we have more base than acid. I'm wanting to get right to that point. So I'm going to add some base little by little. That pink kind of scared me a little bit, but when I swirl it, it goes away. So we still have a higher concentration of hydrogen ions here. This is still more acidic than basic. And remember, I'm trying to take it right up to that neutral. So I am going to add just a tiniest a bit more base. I'm going to swirl. And you know something that I forgot to add? I took note to how much base I had, so then when I'm finished, I can subtract the numbers and know exactly the volume of base that I used. Okay, so we went back to clear. This is still more acid property than base. Let's continue adding a little bit of base. That was more than I meant to add. Oh, but that's okay. Look, it went to clear. Now I want to go until it is just the faintest color of pink. Faintest. Because remember, if it's got a solid pink, that means we're more basic, and I'm trying to find neutral. Now I've got this white paper towel under my flask because I am wanting this pink to be so faint, the white is going to help me see it better. There is a lot of memes out there showing the frustrations of titrations because you keep doing this for so long and you start to get a little bit frustrated, and so you add too much base because you're ready to be done, like I just did. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. I just needed to swirl it. Can we see how faint that is? Super faint. In fact, now it's starting to go away. I am so close. Let me see if I can just get one drop in. Should have just kept it where it was. Anytime you go too far, you got to add a little bit of acid to it to take it back. So since I took it too pink, I took it too basic, I needed to add a little bit more acid in. I had to pay attention to where the level of my acid was, pour some in. When I stopped, I took the difference. I only added in 0.3 milliliters, but you see it took me back to clear. So I know I'm so close. I'm gonna try just to get one drop of base. Look at this, we're finally here. We've got the faintest hint of pink. I'm holding this white paper towel behind it, so hopefully you can see. Faint pink. That means we are right at neutral. Maybe just the tiniest bit above neutral to go slightly basic, but this is as close as it gets, y'all. Okay, now we've got to do a little bit of math. I need to look back at my burette and figure out how much base I used. I did have to add a little bit of acid because I went a little bit too far once, so I've got to figure out how much acid I used. Meet me on the other side, and we're going to use that information. We're going to tie that with the titration mathematical formula, and I'm going to show you how to figure out that unknown base. This titration formula only works with strong acids and strong bases. We're going to have the molarity of our acid times the volume of our acid equals the molarity of our base times the volume of our base. This very much looks like the dilution formula when we talked about solutions, MV equals MV. Same formula, but this time we're talking about acids and bases. Okay, so let's remember, when I first started this example for y'all, we had 10 milliliters of hydrochloric acid. But I went over a tad bit, and I had to add 0.3 mils of hydrochloric acid to the whole situation. So we ended up with a volume for our acid, I'm just gonna put a little A there for acid, at 10.3. Now I do know the molarity of our acid. That was 0.10. When I got finished, when I found that faint pink and I looked up at my burette, I noticed I had used 8.15 milliliters of base, of that NaOH. Now we can calculate the molarity. Okay, now we have a little bit more space to work the problem. So let's put these numbers in the right spot. The molarity of my acid, the volume of the acid that I ended up using, that was 10.3. The molarity of my base, that's what I'm solving for. And the volume of the base that I ended up using was 8.15. We need to get that 8.15 away from x, so our formula says x equals, so we're gonna move that to the other side by dividing. We'll put this in the calculator. I've got 0.1 times 10.3 divided by 8.15. And so the molarity of our base was 0.13. That's how we would have analyzed the data that we got from the lab. Let's work another example that you might see on a worksheet. If we have 20.5 milliliters of 0.5 molar hydrochloric acid and it neutralizes 15.3 milliliters of sodium hydroxide, what's the molarity of sodium hydroxide? This is practically exactly what we just did in the lab. The numbers are just a little bit different. Okay, so again, we've got the molarity of our acid times the volume of our acid, the molarity of our base times the volume of our base. So the molarity of our acid, that's here, 0.5. The volume of our acid, that's here, 20.5. The molarity of our base, that's what we're solving for. The volume of our base, that was 15.3. Again, we want X by itself, so we're going to bring that 15.3 over. And so X equals, that would be our molarity of our base. Let's put that in the calculator. I've got 0.5 times 20.5 divided by 15.3. And so I am getting 0.67 molarity. Hopefully this math problem is not very difficult because we've already did a math problem like this before. Okay, well, I hope that helps with titrations. Hope to see you next time. Bye, y'all.